These are the memoirs of the man you see before you, the sobbing man, the man struggling to run a vacuum up and down his body. Yes, this is Bart the Cleaner. Yep, that's Bart Bleep. Bart Bleep. Yeah, I can't say my second name. I thought I would bleep it out for you. This isn't what you would normally do. Well, it's not a normal time, and I'm not a normal guy. Okay? So why don't you fuck off? And so this amicable discussion would continue with this remarkable weirdo disintegrating further and further. But who was he? And what made him like this? And who am I? And I'd fucking strangle you with it! Hey, would you like that? Hey? Or do you just want me to fucking stick my finger in your fucking eye and pull your eyeball out and bite it? Would you like that? Bleep. 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 Bart Bleep. Why do you keep moving the camera an inch that way? At this point, I should confess that I hate him. I'm Bart Bleep. I was born and raised in Glasgow. We didn't have much, you know. My father was a doctor, my mother was a lawyer. I was private schooled. The same old Hard Knocks story, you know. Everyone thinks they've got it hard, but you know, some of us actually do. I can vividly remember when my father would be out drowning his sorrows at the local wine club. And my mother. I'm sorry. This is hard to talk about. She would be at a different wine club, one that was further away, even more exclusive. I was left at home, trying to survive somehow with the help of a few of the servant folk. Can we cut this, please? I don't want this presented as another sob story. I did well, of course, to get away from that kind of life. But I don't want people to look down on it. It's a hard life, you know? Let me tell you a story. So, the butler comes in and asks my father for a raise, and he stabs him. He twists the knife in. Bart would proceed to tell the production team a story so violent we couldn't possibly air it. So, here's what happened. Apparently, his father stabbed the butler for asking for a raise. His mother found out about the stabbing, believed her husband had uncovered her affair with the sexy "tuck me in please" Mr. Butler, and proceeded to chib her own face to destroy her beauty. The butler fully recovered and began an affair with the father. Typical melodrama fare. Have I given enough time for the voiceover to finish yet? Okay, I'll keep going a bit. So yeah, my mother, every day she would just hit herself in the face, over and over again. But you know, go back to the stabbing, you know, like I said, he almost got them. Penetrated the organs and the blood came running out. You know, but the scar that he's got, it just really adds to his sexiness. You know, and along with that arse, it's a really nice sexy arse, like a big peach. Very sexy. But yeah, the stabbing and the chibbing, it's just bad. Do you mind if I just check that carpet? this one. Everyone, be calm. I'm just going to try and talk to it. We meet again, my fluffy friend. Oh, it's okay. It's okay, I'm just trying to talk to you. No need to make any fluffy babies. No funny business. No sudden moves. Like this! Oh no! Oh God! The crew, already terrified of this unhinged lunatic, would go from feelings of fear to the urge to vomit within seconds of Bart's badly mangled, pickled, monster munch smelling foot being unveiled. He did capture that bit of fluff with some skill though. I know, my foot stinks. It's my secret shame. It's all the work. The work has destroyed it. Dogs try to eat it. My whole life changed after that. You know, standing in the town, laughing at the beggars, used to be the highlight of our day. After what happened, I began to feel almost jealous of them. Snuggled up together like a cosy family. Like, how lucky were they to have all that warmth on a cold December morning? I distinctly remember this, yelling at them, "You bunch of lucky bastards!" And they just didn't respond. So I kicked at them a bit. Well, just your typical teenager kicking a bunch of beggars. And they just didn't move at all. Turned out they had all frozen to death. And that's when I realised that I wanted to be a cleaner. No, it wasn't about making society cleaner, no. More fair. It wasn't some fancy metaphor. It was simply that I wanted a taste of the good life. I'd had enough of living under the breadline, so I marched home to my family home. I paused outside the gate. And then I just sprinted past the driveway, through the gardens, around the pond, took the shortcut by the tennis court, and I arrived at my front door. And there's your metaphor. I'd ran through all the poverty I'd ever known and arrived, in my mind, at an affluent state. I was going to be a cleaner. Have you read my book? Get ready to start Cleaning from the Heart by Bart. Bleep. No? Okay, well, this is one of the new techniques that I guess you could say I've pioneered for producing a spotlessly clean plate. Now, the plate has to want to be clean. A little light teasing like that, and it will really learn to savour the water. Retain it and purge whatever bacterial dirt has permeated it. This is called urge to purge. And it's a bit boring, this bit, but I like to talk to the plate a little to pass the time. Can you bring the boom in, please? It doesn't matter if it gets in front of the camera. You're a dirty little bitch, aren't you? I'll kill you if you don't get fucking clean. I prefer bowls to plates. Oh, you're a bad dirty plate, aren't you? You need to be clean. Want me to help you out with that? Oh, you need me, don't you? Oh. Oh my god. Look at how creepy that is. Oh god. That is super sensuous though. Those hips can sway, but that face, that body, it's disgusting. It's also not cleaning that plate at all. Not even remotely. It should really go without saying that spittle isn't bacterially cleansing, erotically disarming for sure. And this is a fine example of that. Lick it, big boy. But this is the thing. When you're born so disadvantaged, regardless of what career you want to pursue, you have to start right at the bottom. And of course, your family, your mother, your father, your Earl uncles. No, they are Earls. Their name isn't Errol. One of them goes by the name Duke, but he's not a Duke. He's an Errol. It's like they're not even servants. They're slaves. Their status is slaves, and they're slaves to their status. Well, this is really embarrassing. Can we move on, please? Anyway, the result of their pathetic contacts prevented me from joining a firm of repute. Instead, I was forced to take on the morally bankrupt role of personal cleaner to Boris Johnson. I had to be initiated. Senior Fluffy Boy, as he liked to be called after hours. He was the dirtiest man I've ever met. Water makes me clean. So basically, now you know. He fucked me. His abject poverty clung to me for hours and hours after he'd finished wheezing. He'd softly and wetly whisper into my ear, "This is for all you fucking cleaners and those of your ilk. I'm fucking you all." He reminded me almost intensely of milk. His breath had a sour, milky quality, and his naked body resembled a pint of milk. One could insert one's finger into a fat fold and find it covered in a clammy, slimy substance, which I never dared to smell. But Johnson insisted that I smothered over his cheeks at both ends. His wispy, yellowish mop, the beginnings of the process from milk to cheese, curdled as if turning his brain to mush. No, the sex was not good. What type of question is that anyway? I bet it's your viewers that want to hear about that, isn't it? Sick! They want to know about how he took advantage of me. The crew, acutely aware of what makes good television, allowed this charade to continue until Bart had fully reenacted a furious lovemaking session. The director of the production is hoping to secure funding for his new project in which he hopes to combine Love Island, Jurassic Park, and a badly researched civil war in some random country in which the Americans emerge as the heroes. The amount of times I've had to use these, wipe myself off down there. So you take that question back, okay? I won't answer any more questions like that. How would you like me to fuck you? Do you want me to use my tongue on you? Like the plate? You liked that, didn't you? You liked the sexy plate dance? Sick. Bastard. Cleaning isn't just about removing dirt, bacteria, dust. It's not just about giving your possessions a radiant shine. It's not just about tidying a room in a valiant effort to make it look less shit. It's also about keeping yourself clean. You can't be a cleaner if you're not clean. This chapter is called Clean Self equals Clean Health. And statistically, your shin bone and kneecap will remain bacteria free longer than any other body part. So I advise you begin with these. Now, run your hands up and down. Feel the dead skin rubbing off, clinging to your sweat-soaked fingers. Now, after extracting the dead skin, take a second to think. Is it dead or dying? Is it salvageable? Examine it. If it looks alive, gather it onto one finger, like that, and insert the finger into your mouth. Swallow the dang skin and savour the flavour. Haha! Chapter title. At the very least it'll make you thicker skinned. As the misshapen moron continued to produce a noise that in some cultures presumably signifies death and immense suffering, the second assistant director attempted to distract Bart by producing some bottles of squirty goodness. I really don't know what to say. What the fuck? And that, right there, is how you vigorously and lovingly wash what was a very dirty cock. Are you guys coming? Do you want to do another take of the cock wash? God, I sound just like the voiceover, don't I? These off-screen comments were made by Bart, not the voiceover, just to help you guys with the edit. Aside from being his cleaner lover, as he wittily and joyfully described me, partly due to my profession, but also due to the fact that I had a cleaner bill of sexual health than his other lovers, a rich assortment of folks from other highly paid professions, like cleaning. He fucked them all over, really. He used to consult me, actually. He'd ask me what I thought about their economic policies. Did I have any ideas, any at all? It didn't even need to be good. History had already proved he'd be elected, regardless of how large a group of people he legislated against or totally ignored. The alternative was communism or poverty. And he would go on and on. My view, and I made this clear to him time and time again, was that the middle and especially upper classes were struggling. Life is not easy for them. There was the status struggle. Were they above or below the poverty line? There was the violent reality of not being able to put food on the table. They had to select a table from one of their rooms, and the indecision might make the food go cold and inedible. No, Boris. Any economic benefits or tax cuts should be focused at these struggling classes. I'm one of the privileged ones. A cleaner earning a few pounds below minimum wage. We've got it good. Trust me. Boris would smile at me, which usually indicated that he lost interest or I said something he didn't understand. And we'd revert to type. And I'd aggressively tickle his butt cheeks with my duster. This duster here. I'm not sure I ever fully influenced policy, but I did have one moment of personal glory. Boris recently hired another cleaner, a refugee by the name of Amin or Amen, something like that. You know the type. Turns up in the UK unannounced and tries to take advantage of our country's resources. Like, in a way, the UK has never done to their country. All the while, she's living a cosy existence in a one-room flat, sharing a toilet with 27 others, having her children forced into prostitution by the generous gangs that facilitated their entry into the country. Some people just do not know how good they have it. She moaned constantly. Eventually, I had to approach Boris, with caution, as one was always advised to do, and point out they could not afford slave labour like this. She and her children were deported that afternoon. And were returned safely, by the way, in one of Boris's private jets to her war-torn country. Did you see that? Watching Boris tell her she was fired made him seem almost human. He didn't need to slap her as she begged for her life. But it was possibly the one moment that I felt some form of sexual attraction towards him as he stood towering over this frail, pathetic woman. But then I was suddenly hit with pangs of nausea and discomfort, as one so often is in moments of conscience, and realised how wrong I'd been. He was still grotesque. It's Boris. If I die here, you need to show this tape to the world. Tell them I'm Bart Johnson. It's Boris. Bart would try to convince Johnson and his henchmen, Messrs Gove, Patel, Sunak, Rabb and Hancock, that they would find no threat from him and his kind. Yes, the cleaners of the UK and those alike were happy with their labour's rewards, happy to concede their labour to their employers' demands. Boris seemed to sigh. He'd already forgotten why they'd made their foolish, COVID-tempting journey. He wanted him a cheesy burger. So I'm back here to talk to you today because I'm really not happy with how I was shown to be in the film. You know, I was made out to be this complete and total weirdo, a psychopath, and I'm really not like that whatsoever. Now, first things first, one of the things that really annoyed me is that you showed this sequence in which I attacked this bit of fluff and made me out to be this really violent guy, you know, but like, he's safe and well, and you know, we got on amazing. We've got this bond and this friendship, you know, and I think that will last for the rest of my life. Eh? You're good. So, for anyone wondering about that fluff and crying over it, we're fine. Now, I also brought a friend along today because he's very sad. He's very, very sad at the way people have been reacting to the film. Come and say hi. Look, see? Look! He's very sad! Oh, come on, Max. It's okay. Tell them what you said.
I think Bart is the best man ever. Me and him are best friends.
Oh, how nice is that? Tell them, is there anything else you'd like to say?
He buys me all the bananas, and he tickles me under the stairs.
Let me just clarify that. Under the stairs, we've got a wee... That's where he stays, isn't it? Like Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter, you're staying under the stairs.
Oh,
okay, right, that's fine. Listen, see me, you think I'm this weirdo, right? But let me lay it down for you, okay? Now I gave you some information about myself and my family. Let me tell you this. Weird thing is, my mother is actually the doctor and my father is actually the lawyer. I mean, what the fuck, right?